Good morning, everybody, and this is your SP 500 setups for today. So, Feds today, so I don't really expect anything to happen, but it is well worth just taking note of what we see on the charts on the 8 hour because there are so many mixed signals here. So the first one, let's just start with the bullish signals. We have diversions with inside bar at the bottom of those diversions. So technically, could be some kind of a bottom. Then we have for the bears a crossover the moving averages and a break and retest of this tail here, and that is at 44. Let's just call it 44.50. It's 44.49.9, but 44.50 is obviously the level that we are testing. So lots going on. I'm not entirely convinced of either. And then the last thing, which probably favors the bears, we're in a downward channel. So any rejection higher up should be another opportunity to short. Now, it all hinges on what happens today with the Feds, with interest rate hikes. And then there's going to be little bits of pieces of data that are going to influence this as well. So dropping down through the time frames, you can see on the 3 hour, we start getting diversions again. And these are bullish diversions. Again, you have inside bar, and the 3 hour chart, not really off any structure, but it is the last line of defense before the gap. And I'm just going to put this gap in because I'm pretty confident that's going to close today. So typically what happens with gaps is you find the first fractal above the gap, which is right here. You can see there's the period separator. So this is a weekly gap. So that was the first fractal. So that's normally the first target. You can see we just about got there before bouncing, and now we're rejecting higher up. So for me, it should be another leg down to close the gap. That's what we should technically see. But with data coming out, that could be messed up completely. So now, if we just look at what the levels we want to be trading, and if you look at this strong leg down, you would have been forgiven thinking, well, this is definitely moving to the downside. Let's see, pin bar off, not quite off, it's just short. The level is 44.19, and the pin bar there is 44.19.6, and then the level here is 44.19.1. So you can see just missed it with a pin bar there. I suspect we are in a downward trend, and you look at this on the hour. So this is the area I would be interested in shorting. We did get a pin bar rejection off there, but we need to see a break below that before we start getting too excited. And on the 15 minutes, there was genuinely nothing that indicated this thing was going to fall. The only one that you possibly could have looked at was this one here. But then again, I think you would have probably had to gone down to a 5 minute. I didn't get involved in this yesterday at all. So there's your pin bar there, and that was at 3:45 my time. So it was just about 15 minutes into the market open when we got this move down flag. There's a pin bar plus an engulfing bar, so there was probably an opportunity there. 82 points, but yeah, you may have got a one-to-one trade kind of out of that. Anyway, let's just ignore that for now. Wasn't much of a setup. We are back in structure. There is another little bit of structure here on the 15 minute, which is there. So we have tested it yesterday, and we're sort of back in this zone. Look at the oscillators here. So I suspect we're probably going to range from where we are here at, what is this, 44.44 to 44.50. 44.53. I think we're probably going to range around here. If we get above 44.50, build a base there, then I suppose that opens up the case for the bulls. But if we start rejecting this area, then I suspect we have a move to the downside. We've got some gaps here. There's one. There's another one there. There's another one there. And then bear in mind that we have this big weekly gap down here. I suspect we are going to have another leg down. That's kind of my gut feel here. I don't think we're going to do anything else. The trend is down on pretty much all time frames. We are forming diversions, which is just a bit of a warning bell. I suspect this gap is what we're targeting at the moment. So we're targeting 4,400 at the moment. That's my take on this. If we do start breaking above the highs of yesterday, then obviously that changes the tune completely, and then we're starting to build a base, and we'll probably be looking for a move back up to a 4,500 or 4,520. So for me today, wait for the data. It's pointless even trying to trade this morning. It's just going to go nowhere, and unfortunately the data's coming out really late tonight. So for me, that means I don't even bother trading, because I can't trade this during the session when the US and Europe are open, because that hour and a half is basically where all the volumes and the movements come, and that's pretty much where you make the most money. So anyway, that's kind of my view today. Sit on hands, wait for the data. We'll probably only pick this up tomorrow, but there may be some leak of the data early, and you may see that happening in price, which will give you the opportunity. But then what you want to do is you want to get out of it before the data comes out, or before the Fed start talking. Anyway, that's it for me today. Sitting on hands, not really getting involved in this. Hope it helps, and if it does, drop us a thumbs up. We'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.